Back to consider this. I'm Melissa Idris. I'm speaking tonight to the Minister of Works, Datuk Sri Alexander Nantalinggi. Can we shift the conversation to highway management under the portfolio of the Works Ministry? The multi-lane free flow MLFF, right? That's a new non-stop toll collection system that's going to be introduced in a few years. Hopefully we can reduce congestion at the tolls. Walk us through where we are with this. I understand that the RFID is the basis to implement this. Given all the challenges we know we face with RFID, talk us through the ministry's plan to implement this multi-lane free flow and the challenges of RFID currently.
Yes, like almost everything else, you cannot do something abruptly. You cannot just discontinue something abruptly and start something abruptly. There must be some kind of a period where you make it a transition so that it becomes seamless. That means we ensure convenience of the road users, and also to ensure that we do a little bit of trial and errors just to make sure that when we finally migrate to a new system, that we should at least be confident that, we've gone through as much as possible to ensure that the new system will serve the people better, a lot better than the ones that we are migrating out from, right? So that should be the principle. Yes, you're right. RFID is an initial move from the older system that into the coming MLFF, multi-level free flow. Now, talking about that, when I came in, I was given the briefing. They kept on mentioning multi-level free flow. I said, can we just change the word free flow? Because I don't want the pengguna, the user, to think that, hey,
it's
now
free.
It's free. You're not going to pay anything. No, it's not free. Yeah. So now we are changing towards MLFF, fast flow.
Fast flow.
The free, I want it to be changed to fast flow, so that people are certain and clear about what it's all about.
More
Don't
accurate.
you think?
Yeah, it's more it's a better representation.
Small it may be that I've changed that. I hope that it will be better understood and also minimize the stress of people not understanding it later on.
Okay. So the goal is MLFF.
Yes.
Right now we have RFID as a transition.
That's right.
Okay. What are the issues with RFID right now that need to be resolved before we can migrate to this better fast flow system?
Yeah, as I said, let it be for a while. Let's see where the technicalities of that new system. Yeah, I can't say specifically what, but so far I've been told it is doing quite good. Yeah. Now, you might have heard some users complaining, why do the authority not be consistent in placing at the toll, whether it's on the left side, on the right side, or the center, the RFID. I brought up the matter with the officers concerned, and they explained, and I believe that they have thought about it, and that's why they do it. You see, certain lanes that use RFID may be on the extreme left, some in the center, because it depends on the exit and the entry point of side road into that, so that if a car comes into the main highway, if they are too close, they will not have enough time to cross the other lanes to get to the RFID lane. So that RFID lane has to be put maybe onto the left so that they can flow without endangering the other users. Yeah, I hope the users now understand this.
So the logistics determine where the lane is.
That's right.
Isn't the main issue with RFID the fact that the scanner at the toll booth is slow to detect the chip in the RFID chip? The fact that vehicles have to slow down to scan, so there's really no advantage to changing your smart tag because it's the same kind of slow down system. The idea is to just
you could be right, but again, this has been explained. It also depends on where the users place the chips, so that the detection is more efficient. Yeah, so it is not 100% efficient yet at the moment.
Doesn't Touch and Go place the chip? I mean, wouldn't the concessionaire put the chip where it's most detectable?
Some people now can do it on their own now. Yeah, so it is important to place that chips at the right place on your vehicle.
Okay. How do we resolve this? I mean, increase the take-up by the public, because right now I think the RFID take-up is a lot slower compared to, even reverting to touch and go or a smart tag. You need the public's buy-in to migrate to RFID so that you can eventually migrate to the multi-lane fast flow system.
Yeah, the fact that we or the government have already informed the public that the target is by the year 2025 or thereabout.
That's quite quick.
Yeah, that the system should be on a multi-level fast flow. So the pengguna or the users should know that by now that we want to do away with the tax, yeah, and to implement the what you call that just a free flow, fast flow rather.
Right,
Yeah.
fast flow. Okay. Just another quick question on this. Is the challenge to have the multi-lane fast flow, the fact that there's no barrier, right? You want to make it like the Singapore system where you just kind of run through.
Not only Singapore, other countries.
The other countries as well, but Singapore, the closest example I can think of. Is it true that this barrier-free system might not be able to happen in Malaysia unless there is very strict enforcement of a standardized number plate?
No. What is important is the technicalities. We can address the issues. What's most important now, even when we have the MLFF also, is the users must ensure that, hey, look, you should make sure that your account, you have money in there, so that there's no interruptions in when you go through. And this is also why what system we have now, we get slowed down at the toll plazas, isn't it? The fast flow later on, there is a system where even if you do not have money in your account for that moment, you can still go through. But you will be charged later on.
Do you think that it's only going to be limited to touch and go cashless payment systems?
Pardon me?
Is it only going to be limited to touch and go toll payments for this? Or are there any plans?
Multi-level fast flow would be, there's no more touch and go.
But will it only be under the monopoly of touch and go, or will it be open to any kind of the concessions? That's right. I know this is a Ministry of Finance plus Ministry of Transport plus Works Ministry.
Maybe I can't say for sure now, right? That's just beyond we at the KKR. We have to be together with it's a policy later on with the Ministry of Finance. And so I think I would be frank with you that I wouldn't want to say for sure now.
But you have heard of the complaints or the grouses from highway users who often wonder why can't we have all the different options of cashless e-wallets as an option?
That's possible, as long as later on this e-wallet thing should be seamless. I think that's what you meant, yeah? So that one doesn't have to go to just be dedicated to only one or two concessionaires. But yeah, that I think is a big possibility, so that fast flow means, you cannot be tied down to something just exclusively, if I may put it that way, for the time being.
It's about convenience.
Yep.
Okay. Very quickly, in the few minutes that we have left, I want to ask you about progress on MA63, on more autonomy for Sarawak. Just taking that angle.
That's so different from the
that is
highways,
a shift from your Ministry of Works portfolio and perhaps looking at your PBB portfolio. What do we know of the fact that the MA63 Action Council's first meeting is expected to happen in a couple of weeks?
Yeah.
What are the priorities?
The MA63, that is Malaysian Agreement 1963, many meetings have been held before, yeah? And that is why quite a few achievements that we already have achieved, yeah. So, but there's some more to be achieved as far as Sarawak is concerned, or even for Sabah is concerned. But I thought more for Sarawak. Yeah, there are, from what I know, going forward, we are happy with the federal government up to this point that have already acceded to our requests, and now we are enjoying what we have been asking for. Yeah, the letters being that the Kementerian Kerja Raya or the jobs from this ministry of a value of 50 million and below as a first trial, I would say. We can't have it limitless for the time being. 50 million and below projects will be handed over to the JKR Sarawak, as implementing agency in Sarawak, technical agency in Sarawak, that's JKR Sarawak. Prior to this, even the project of 500,000 or project of 1 million still have to be decided by JKR here at the federal level. So that is an achievement, we all know that, that's been announced. Now, from what I can think of now, and I know that I've been informed also, there are another five points that we are pursuing from now onwards. That's we have always been asking for a right to sit in the board of directors of the Lembaga Hasil Dalam Negeri, and there's a membership in there, because we think that, and we know that from the agreement that we signed, that we are supposed to have a place in there, and it's never been filled in by Sarawakian. So we insist that a member from Sarawak must be in this Lembaga Hasil Dalam Negeri
on the board.
And we insist that it should be appropriately be our State Financial Officer, SFS, State Financial Secretary, because he would represent the state, represent the government, not just an individual or private sector put in there. Then there may be some questions later on what real capacity for the state. So we will insist on the State Financial Secretary to be the person from Sarawak to sit on the board of Lembaga Hasil Dalam Negeri. And then there is one more that we are pursuing, is a special grant under Article 112D, that the formula we presented must be the basis for any review, and this is to be agreed upon. We want to have a say in the formula,
more autonomy in deciding.
More autonomy in the calculation and everything. All right. And then, like I said just now, JKR, DID, Department of Irrigation and Drainage. Then we have what we call JBALB, JBALB, Jabatan Bekalan Air Luar Bandar, that's in Sarawak. These three technical agencies are to be full technical department recognized by the federal, so that it's easier for us to have project in Sarawak implemented by ourselves.
By being a technical department, you will have autonomy over contracts, certain limited amount of contracts, and then having that kind of urgency, the power to
These departments are already established.
Understood. But having that term, technical department. I'm so sorry to interrupt you, Datuk Sri. Unfortunately, we have run out of time. Time flies by quickly here on Consider This. And I want to thank you so much for being on the show. That was my conversation with the Works Minister, Datuk Sri Alexander Nantalingki, and that wraps up this episode of Consider This. I'm Melissa Idris, signing off for the evening. Thank you so much for watching, and good night.